What's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here from GuitarJamz.com. Back by heavy request. I'm going to do a part 2. There's some really tasty little licks in here, and I hope you enjoy it. Also, there's tons of requests that people leave down in those comments. I actually only take my requests in my email list, which the link for that email list is right down there. And basically, when you opt into my email list, you can reply with your song request, and I queue them up. That's how I do it. I don't do it in the comments down there. But anyway, let's zoom in, and I'm going to teach you all these little tasty little licks right now. Here we go! Okay, so the next section is what I'm going to teach you right now. And let me show you the bass notes that are going on underneath. You really only have to think of it as the C minor pentatonic. However, C minor is the same key, the same notes, the same chord structure as E flat major. That's called the relative major, relative minor. So it's going through chords kind of in the key of E flat major, but you could call that the chords of C minor as well. It's the same thing. So lucky for us, when we're playing that, it could be considered the E major pentatonic when it's, you know, playing over, E flat, not E, but it could be the E flat major pentatonic when it's over an E flat kind of thing. When it's over C minor, now it's a C minor kind of thing. And that's kind of where the term mode comes from. You're playing a mode of the same scale, a different mode, but it's the same scale. Okay, enough of that. So it goes boom, ba, ba, B flat. And it's like basically, it's kind of like a flat major over B flat. But if you just played a B flat major, that would work as well. But the bass, and there's just like organ pads underneath, it's dun, da, 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 E flat. And then that would be called E flat major 7. Da, da, da. And then there's a little lead tone on the 5th fret of the low E. Then to A flat major. Then finally another half step down, G major. And that's the structure underneath this. Kind of thing underneath. So we're gonna pretty much stay in the C minor pentatonic right here, and I'm gonna use my pinky on that C note. And I don't know if he went in 2 different positions. I just did it by ear, but I also put it into mainly one position just for learning, guitar learning, getting better. Okay, so we're in one position. So it's the 10th fret on the D string, 7th fret on the G string, 8th fret on the G string. And so then I'm doing a hammer-on from 8 to 10 on the G, and then to that 8 on the B. And it keeps going to that. So you've got... One more time. So the next time, I'm going to this B flat note, which is still underneath in the bass. I'm going back to that note, which is the 8th fret of the D string, then back to that hammer-on from the 8 to the 10 on the G string. So it's like... So from the top... So finally, very tasty playing, very tasty right here. He's in the tasty zone. So I'm sliding from the 7 to the 8 on the B. And look, it's just that pentatonic. Anytime you're messing with the pentatonic, really, any of these little tricks that you're learning can work. And you should try them out. So it repeats that. Oops, sorry. Which is the same thing as same notes, keeping it in one position. See that? So it's a nice bluesy little passage that he goes into. Starts on that pedal note again, which is the 8th fret of the D. High E on the 8th. Back to the 11th on the B, but now I'm going to switch to my ring finger because it does a little bend. And when I bend, I always use, when I bend, I never use my pinky, really. I've seen some guitar players do it. I don't do it. So whenever I have to all of a sudden go to a bend, I just naturally switch back to my ring finger. Here it is from the top so far. Sorry. I've got mail. And that's just a bluesy thing. So you've got, before it bends up to the root there on that 11th fret of the B, we're going to just go to that root. So you're going to bend on that 11th fret of the B string. Then we're going to go to the 8th on the high E, down the pentatonic to the 11 of the B, but then rake it over, or just cross your finger over, boom, to the 10th fret of the G. And we're going to do a bend up and back. So check it out. So we're going and ending right there on the 10th of the D. So let's play everything from the top. So I just added. Once we do that, then we're going to go right back to that little motif, which is going to be that, which would be the 8 to the 10 on the G, followed by the 8 on the B. So from the top from there. Your ear could hear where it wanted to go next, right? So it's going to be that repeat, but instead of this note as the pedal, it's now back to this note, which is a C note, 10th fret of the D. So that's one thing that's a little different. Now it does a little bluesy thing again. So So this next little thing's probably my favorite, like kind of lick in this section, and it's like this. That phrase right there. One more time. You know. So we're doing a little bend here on the 10th fret of the G into the 8th fret of the B, like that, which we like. Then rolling over to the high root here of the C minor pentatonic, or the 8th fret, and we're going to go down the pentatonic. We're not going to skip a note this time. So bend on the 10, 8 right there, 8 right here, 11, 10, 11, 8, and then the bend on the G. And then the 8 on the G to the 10 on the D, then roll over, and this is the cool part. Not that the other stuff wasn't cool, but I just love that kind of stuff. So 10 on the G, 8 on the B, 8 on the G, so it's like a rollover. Roll over here, and a rollover right there. Then we're going down the pentatonic from there. We hold this. So I'm going 10, 8, 10, 8, 10, 8, and you could do it. You could do it with all those. I'm going like this, just for character. My own little personal character there. Then back, and this is in the earlier part of the song as well. You know, it gives you a little. So if we're going with our ring finger from 8 to 10 on the A, then we go to the index on the 6th of the A. Okay, so the whole thing from the top, one time kind of regular speed, then one time slow. Okay, and here it is, one time slow. Okay, now the good news is it goes through that whole section again, and really I think the only thing that's different the second time around, chord-wise, is does the same thing, but instead of G to C minor and then a break, it goes G, C major 7, which just changes up the tonality, is what you would say of that. But the licks are all the same until the very end, and it's just really variations of the kind of themes that I've already laid out for you. And also the idea of this is to try and get these licks and add them to your own arsenal. It's not just, I think that's way more exciting than being able to play a whole passage from a famous solo. I mean, they're both great, they're both valuable, but I mean, the most fun is to do what those heroes did, which is take their favorite solos and turn them into their own solos. And now, hopefully, that's what you're doing as well. So, hopefully, I'll get another third part going. But that was it for now. All right, there's obviously more than that, but hopefully, you got some cool little weapons for your arsenal, your guitar soloing arsenal. Also, just to remind you, I only take requests through my email list down there. So the link's right there. If you got something that you want me to do, I will check it out. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll see you again real soon. Take care.